We see golf injuries all the time. Most people think that golf is a low physical activity, low demand sport, but there's actually quite a few injuries that happen. We see problems with the necks, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the back, pelvis, hips, knees, ankles, you name it. Most of the injuries end up being overuse types of problems, which is the more you end up going back and forth with the golf motions, doing things again and again, going through that repeated motion, that places a lot of stress on not only the tendons, the joints, but also the bones themselves. Those small injuries can lead to bigger problems, which can lead to bigger issues and pain in the future as well. A lot of the common injuries we end up seeing involve the hand, and that can include a lot of the tenderness, the palpation, and also a lot of numbness in the fingers as well. There's also tendonitis that we can see in the wrist, but the far and foremost, the injury that we see the most ends up being what's called golfer's elbow, or technically known as medial epicondylitis. It's inflammation or injury to the muscles and also the tendon as it attaches on a very specific part on the inside of your elbow. As you go back and forth with the motions of a swing, that can put a lot of stress not only on the muscles and the tendon, but also at that point on your bone, and that can lead to pain and tenderness on the inside of your elbow. One way that we can help prevent that injury from happening is to focus on strengthening the muscles and also to focus on slowing down your golf swing. A lot of times when people are coming into a golf swing very quickly, the stress from the ball hitting the club gets sent up the arm, and that can cause a lot of pain and problems. By slowing down the golf swing, that can dissipate some of the stress and take some of the pressure off of that area, which can lead to some improvement in the pain. The other thing that we can do is also to focus on strengthening the muscles around the elbow themselves. Now, the most important time to do that is not during the season, but in the off season. So if you're ready to go and strengthen during the off season, that can help you prepare and be ready to go during the season as it gets started. Low back problems are extremely common, and we see them all the time, especially with golf. Now, a lot of times the low back problems are either caused by low muscle strength and fatigue in the muscles themselves, or even by poor stroke. As you go back and forth and you swing the club, there's a lot of rotational forces that can focus on the back. And sometimes all of those forces can build up, and small strains can become big problems, which can cause big issues, especially in participating in sports. There's a few simple and easy exercises that you can do to help to prevent and treat golfer's elbow, especially during season and during the off season like we talked about. One of the simple exercises is either to take a soft ball or even an old tennis ball and try to squeeze the ball off and on for about 5 minutes with each forearm. That will actually strengthen the muscles in the arm and help to create a better endurance to help to prevent the injuries from happening as you participate in your golf swing. Another exercise that you can do to help to strengthen your forearm actually involves an elastic band. If you go out to the store and buy an elastic band, and you tie that band and focus it around your foot, if you take your wrist and you curl it back and forth, that can actually help to strengthen the muscles of your forearm, again, to help to prevent that injury from happening. Usually I recommend to do this about 10 times for about 3 sets, 3 times a week. That ends up doing a pretty good job. One way to really focus on preventing back injuries is to strengthen the back. There's a few easy exercises that you can do that again involve a band. If you take that band and you fix it around something like a door hinge, and you take that and you go back and forth in a rowing fashion, that can actually isolate a lot of the muscles in your back and help to strengthen and prevent injury from happening as well. Sometimes the best advice is the most simple advice. The best thing to do before you start a round of golf is just to go and warm up. Go out there and stretch your shoulders, your back, your legs. Make sure you feel nice and warm. It's not a bad idea to go get a bucket of balls, maybe hit the balls, work on your technique. All these little things not only help your golf game, but they'll also help to keep you healthy in terms of moving forward in the future. Another thing that can help, and make sure it's always important to protect your skin. Make sure to wear sunscreen. It's important to wear a hat with a visor and also some sunglasses to protect your eyes from the UV lights as well. It's important to stay hydrated. Even if you don't feel thirsty, make sure to drink before, during, and after you play. Also, if you do ride a golf cart, make sure to be careful. Keep your hands and feet inside the golf cart. We do end up, unfortunately, seeing injuries to the ankles and even broken bones from golf cart injuries as well. And the last thing is always be aware of your surroundings. Soft tissue injuries from golf balls can happen, especially when you're followed by a golfer like me who's not very good. So always be aware of your surroundings, make sure you know where you are at all times, and make sure to listen out for that 4, because you never know, the next time that ball might be coming towards you.